Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Kenny Wilhite, Jay Foreman, Old School, Austin on the ones and twos. Brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat, every type of cut. 56 degrees outside. Stop by, get you a nice little yard bird, as Kenny like to say, to throw on the grill. Some steak, even some seafood. It's going to be a pretty nice weekend up until Sunday, so you can fire up that grill either tonight or tomorrow. Old School got a short show today. Again, we got the second half of the Sweet 16, going on, and there'll be some exciting games. Hopefully, tonight, just like last night. And so, Kenny, we're going to jump into it. We're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about that. That was a game, boy. That game. We're going to talk about the Kansas State Michigan State game. Talk about that game.
And Gonzaga,
yeah, and Florida Atlantic and Tennessee. Just give me your overall thoughts, because I thought it was take the UConn, Arkansas, yes. But I'm not gonna take much away from Arkansas, because UConn is that team.
Mm-hmm.
They are 10 deep. They are big and physical. They're off the beaten path because they are up in Connecticut. So generally here when we think of Big East teams, who we think? Creighton, right? Bobby Hurley is the real deal. Just talk about overall the basketball, what you thought last night. Because I thought it was a pretty good night, not only for college basketball, but basketball in general.
Yeah, I think last night, if you can get 3 games like that again tonight, I think the NCAA tournament has been probably one of the best tournaments in a long time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, again, the Gonzaga and the UCLA game battled.
Yeah.
The two physical. The two big men for those two big name players for those two teams.
We're going at it.
Now, Timmy missed those 2 free throws.
I know.
Late in the game, the first one he
bricked.
He shot it short.
Yeah, that's
way short.
Yeah.
Then the second one he bricked off the back of the rim.
Yeah.
He was scared. What is it? Jaquez?
Yeah.
Man, that was probably the name of the tournament. Jaquez is probably the name of the tournament, but those two battled back and forth. And again, we talked about it. The K-State Michigan State guard matchup.
Man, all is advertised.
All is advertised.
And that's hard to. Just say you've been it, whether it's a receiver, DB, 2 guards, you playing back home, they all know each other. And, sometimes, somebody gets in foul trouble,
mm-hmm.
somebody has an off night, but both of them was getting it. Excellent coaching.
Very good
Tang
coaching.
And
very good coaching.
Izzo,
and
tough play. Michigan State looked like they were dead in the water, battled back to get into overtime. I want to ask you this, man. I know my thoughts, but once they went into overtime, did you think Michigan? This is Michigan State.
Nope.
You didn't.
Nope.
See, I thought it was just over.
You thought Michigan State would pull it out
because I just felt like they came back to get into overtime.
Mm-hmm.
They had control of the game, but that dude kept showing up.
Sometimes the battle back to get back to even.
Yeah.
You use a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Do you have enough gas in the tank? You just like going into overtime in a college football game.
Yep.
Do you have enough gas in the tank? Do you have enough muscle, manpower? Like we used to do back in the day.
Right.
Pound you. Fourth quarter, they're gonna be tired. So our training took over. So again, 2 well-coached teams. To roll your ankle
like that.
That
wasn't like a little. No. That was a major I call those basketball springs. Yeah.
And to come back out and do what he did, a lot of guys wouldn't have finished that game.
No, because they would have been satisfied with how they played up until that point.
Even in the pros.
Right, even in the pros.
A lot of guys wouldn't have finished.
Yeah.
They would have just chalked it up and then been spectators.
And picked up the phone after and then talk about, I left it all on the court.
No, you didn't. Yeah. That guy left it all on the court yesterday, and he's the leader of that team. The little engine that was him last night.
Yeah, the thing that's funny is that again, we talked about it in the crossover. Is obviously he's going to get a lot of the kudos.
Yes,
but his man is Ishmael Musad, though. That's his dude, and he's from Harlem. That's his homeboy. So them 3 dudes know each other. He averaged 5 points a game, but who hit the big corner, deep 2-pointer on the kick out for his 18th assist
Mm-hmm.
was him. Now, talk about when you were trying to put together a team, go down and get your boy from Arkansas Little Rock, right? Whatever you want to call it.
Arkansas Little Rock.
And then get his homeboy to come in
from Wake Forest.
But the being familiar with playing with each other.
And that's what we talked about. He came in July.
Right.
So his familiarity with that kid helped him a lot.
Right, exactly.
And then there was other pieces that he had to mesh with. And I'm willing to bet you they were in the gym all of July together.
Oh yeah. Get grinding. Because these guys, see, this is
there's no way they're gonna get to this point without them being in the gym all of July together.
Putting together, and this is what Fred Hoiberg did a really good job of this year. And we talked about it all the time. I'm assuming he came to a plan with Trev. I want to get more team basketball. I want to get guys that want to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Gym rats.
Love
play
the
together,
game.
love the game. He did it. You've seen it. I think Nebraska would have had a better chance of playing, with a better, record if everybody's healthy. That's exactly what Tang did at Kansas State. He went and got guys that want to play basketball, that want to be at K-State, that want to make an impact. And then also, I think what Tom Izzo and those guys didn't maybe underestimated. Now, look, I agree with Tom Izzo. When a team's banking in 2 threes at the end of the shot clock, it might be their night. But they didn't blink, though.
No.
No,
they didn't.
But I think they didn't really understand how physical K-State is. Because when you think about Ishmael Masad, 6'9", 230. Think about Johnson. 6'6", 240. Even my man, the 5'8", 175, but he rocked up. And everybody on that team is rocked up. And so when you're thinking about Michigan State, where they usually had that type of advantage, and that's where I thought like they would go farther in the tournament because their guard play started to excel. They're physical. Well, they actually met the team that actually, when they looked across
looked just like
them. And then they had 2 special players.
Yep.
And a lot of that comes from Tang. I mean, think about what he learned with Scott Drew at Baylor and the way Baylor was able to really rebuild under Scott Drew with Jerome Tang there for a long time. A lot of the similarities with the guard play from Baylor's championship team carried over.
Yep.
Yeah, and so then that's what you need, and because Baylor's always had some big guys in there, that are physical, along with depth and big wings, and that's how they're able to pull this game out. So I thought it was a really good first night of Sweet 16. The one game I wanted to talk to you about, Kenny, also, which is that Tennessee Florida Atlantic game. I mean, it just looked like Tennessee had such control of that game. The first half, the first 10 minutes of the second half, or actually the first, 6 or 7 to 8 minutes of the second half, they, when you watch the game, I felt like they had control of it. But then I kept looking at the scoreboard. They only up by 7. They only up by 5. Then I was like, oh, if these boys stay, if they start hitting, Tennessee in trouble. And so here's what I think what happened at Florida Atlanta. I think at the beginning of the game, and you saw this how Tennessee was playing defense, the refs let them kind of debo them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were some chest bumps and there was some shoving. You saw the flagrant foul too. And I think Florida Atlanta, I wouldn't say they were intimidated or scared. I don't think they were used to that type of play because Tennessee is, the way they play, is the most physical team in the tournament. That's how they play defense, and they're physical. They want to play in the 50s, low 60s, right? Whereas Florida Atlantic, they want to get up and down and do it. But I think once they started to come to terms with it and understand, the worst thing Tennessee did was let them hang around. They're like, oh yeah. Now we're gonna make some adjustments. And then they went on that 16-2 run. Then you knew it was over.
Yep.
Because the guard play started to come to life. When you have 3 or 4 guards that can handle it, shoot it. And guess what they did the second half, Kenny? Offensive rebound from the guard position.
Yep.
And you can start to get second chance points, quickness to get it. Long shots, quick and go get it, put it back. Those are like gut punches. Those are I always say, if you analogy for football, the 3rd and 12s and you let the quarterback scramble for 13. So you know what I mean? You play defense, deep into the shot clock, you give up a, junk too. And also when you're not scoring on the other end, the pressure actually falls back on Tennessee, and I don't think they can handle it. What do you think?
I just, we talked about Michigan State, they used so much to get back into the game that they ran out of gas at the end.
Right.
FAU used a lot to get back in the game, and they still had something in the tank. and when they overcame that, and again, adjustments, like you
Halftime.
just said,
Right.
halftime adjustments, and even in the second half, we need 5 guys on the board.
Yep.
We need 5 guys to rebound the basketball. So that's why the guards were able to get in there and get a couple of offensive rebounds, period. Because the adjustments they made in game was what got them to where they needed to win the game.
I felt like they used Tennessee's strength against them, considering what the scoreboard was like. Because I think if Tennessee was up by 12, Tennessee would they could just play small ball.
Mm-hmm.
But since it was so close, I think that part of the adjustment when I was thinking like, hey, look, they were only sending 1 or 2 guys to the boards in the first half. In the second half, they sent 5. And I think the reason why is because Tennessee's size, where they had 2 or 3 guys, 6'11", and they had the 7-footer in there, and then they had the 6'8" forward.
Mm-hmm.
Well, FAU plays with 1 big guy and 4 guards. So you can send 5 and then get back on D. So then now you're not worried about fast break points.
Nope.
So that's how they're able to kind of use the strength of Tennessee against them. And Tennessee's not really a good outside shooting team, because a lot of times when you saw them on the defensive switch, they had their point guard guarding the guy who's 6'11" and moving him off the block. And so that's what was really to me a really good game. And I think the icing on the cake was was the Gonzaga UCLA game.
I didn't think. Well, remember how we talked about when you don't know what get tight?
Yeah.
Gonzaga kind of got tight at the end of the game.
Yeah.
They were up 6-7.
They couldn't even close.
Couldn't even break the press.
Try to throw the ball to UCLA's head coach and then miss 3 or 4 free throws down the stretch.
Right.
Yes. So
that was a blind pass.
Blind. Just like the one.
Yeah.
Kihei Clark-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Sphincter muscle got
tight. So they overcame it. And I mean, the guy just hit a big time shot on the bright stage.
Bailey did too.
Yes.
For UCLA.
Yes.
He was balling.
The lefty.
Yeah.
Clean.
And he had been playing, he was locking up on D too.
Yes. So very good game.
Yeah.
I mean, last night was, you didn't want to change the channel.
Man, it was
you did not
must-see TV,
must
man.
see TV.
And here's, you know what? I'm also going to give kudos to Omaha product is Hunter Salas, right?
Yes.
And because here's why. The 2 starting guards were succumbing to the pressure of UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
And give Mark Few tons of credit. He recruited to depth.
Yep.
And also, he said, you know what? You 2 chumps right here. I'm straight up. I've been in this position, coaches. Hey, you like, look, hey, y'all out here playing scared like you playing against Casper. I got to get some dudes in here. So then he brought in Salas and Smith, right? And they pretty much won the game for him.
Yep.
Salas came in and kept the game close for them with a quick 5 points, right? And it looked like his biggest deficiency coming out of high school was his ball handling. He got better at it. Then he brought Smith in, right? And he went 6 of 11, hit a 3 with 14 points. The 2 starters, okay, check this out. This is why these dudes would finish the game. And Smith showed you why maybe he's not a starter, but he will be a starter next year, okay, with that turnover, because that's a no-no. That's a timeout, or you throw it off the guy's foot. You don't throw it.
Same thing we talked about 2 weeks ago at the start of the tournament.
You don't throw it to the shortest guy out there where he ducked for UCLA's coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he thought he was, playing dodgeball. The other starter for Gonzaga, Hickman and Bolton. You know how many combined points they had?
8.
Yes. Did you already look?
Yeah, I'd be cheating.
Okay. Well, you're out of it. 0. That's exactly what I'm talking to you at halftime.
Wow.
You 2 brothers came out here and played in it's a Sweet 16 game, and you guys are starting, and both you guys took 5 shots, and they made 1.
Between them?
Yeah.
Only 5 shots.
Yeah, because the pressure
Bust pipes.
was busting pipes. They were causing other guys to get turnovers because they were throwing them such bad passes. They were throwing stuff at the feet, and the guys were you know what I'm saying? That's why Timmy, he knew his teammates. And I wonder if Timmy told the coach, like, look, these put these other dudes in there. Because Timmy just came out and said, you know what, I'm putting in work. I'm just letting you know right now, I'm here. I'm a Kevin McHale you to death and Tim Duncan you to death all day long.
Yep.
And then I'm going to hit you with a little Akeem Olajuwon double pivot up and under to the tune of 36 points.
Jeez.
But big-time players in big-time games make big-time plays. And that's how you are able to push them through. So hopefully for Gonzaga, I felt like they had a little bit of scare in the round of 32.
Mm-hmm.
This was it. Now, hopefully, they could get that out of their system because they can't play like this. They got to be able to close a game out being up by 7. And Timmy's probably thinking, I need to hit those free throws. And you probably would think 9 times out of 10 he'll hit it. But UCLA's pressure really got to Gonzaga early.
So what do you think UConn going to give them?
Nothing but that work.
None but they're going to press them, make them break the press, and see what they can do.
And here's what UConn has that
it's on film
that Gonzaga doesn't have. They got 2 big dudes that go to work inside. So then they got their own sharpshooters. So they're gonna go at it because here's the thing about Gonzaga. They want to get that ball out the net or off the backboard and up the court.
Yep.
What do you think UConn wants to do? They want to do it all day long. Because they got 10 guys. Come one, come all. We're gonna give you that work. That's gonna be, I think, the game of the Sweet 16 come Saturday.
Really?
Yeah. Because can Gonzaga face a team like UConn with relentless pressure and excellent guard play that Gonzaga has shown their kryptonite? When you have 2, just imagine if you're Hickman and Bolton, that's 2. You're going to take it 2 ways. I'm going to come out and light your life up because I'm embarrassed, right? It's like having a bad game of football. Or you thinking about, man, we played like garbage, and the 2 guys that backed us up actually won the game for us.
Man, is he going to play them over us?
Yeah. Is he going to play?
They can't have that mind frame.
Yeah, you got to do more coaching to them than you do Salas.
Yes.
And so that's what's going to be the tell-all in that game, and it's exciting. So first segment, Sweet 16, we're going to dive into a little Husker football. I want to dive into Kenny's mindset of a big recruiting weekend like this and what the mindset of a staff is. And ask you, do you have a set number of commits you'd like to have, or is it dependent on the player? If it's their first visit, second visit, there's some guys that have been up here, Buford's brother 7 times, obviously been to games. So, do you have kind of a sheet that you try to go through and then talk about it on Monday? So old school, Kenny Wilhite, Jay Foreman, Austin, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Mike Shaver here to tell you that Trek CBD has a new name, and it's Hemp Boss. It's the same product you've grown to love, just a new name. Spring sports are on the horizon, and Hemp Boss has a variety of products that help calm me down during games and on the golf course so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options for you to calm you down before, during, and after any event. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Hemp Boss has it all at 84th and Andermatt. Hemp Boss, naturally healthy CBD.
March is a month of good luck. From epic runs in state basketball to watching Cinderella spring the upset in college basketball. And of course, St. Patrick's Day. Luck is on your side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Starter Heyman Jewelers,
Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Guys, when I first started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
A mix of sun and clouds expected for our Friday. We'll top out near 54. Winds out of the south at around 10. Overnight increasing cloud cover, a low of around 34. We'll have a chance of scattered showers tomorrow afternoon as we'll reach up to a high of around 56. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Kenny Wilhite, Jay Foreman, old school. Austin holding us down from the Sartor Heyman text line. Bryce says Drew Timme is the most annoying college basketball player since Tyler Hansbrough. Is that true? You believe? You agree?
No. Drew Timme is plenty annoying, but there were two more annoying players in the Big Ten Conference since Tyler Hansbrough. Brad Davison, Jordan Bohannon.
Yeah, especially Bohannon. And
either one.
Yeah. And I probably think one of the most annoying who actually ended up being pretty good in the pros was JJ Redick.
Couldn't stand him.
Yeah.
Could not, and that's your guy.
It's been hilarious seeing everyone hate JJ Redick in college, and now he's like loved on social media. For
but the one guy,
work.
What's the dude that plays for Milwaukee? The dirty player from Duke.
Oh, Grayson Allen?
Now, he was another one.
He's probably the worst.
He is the worst. Yeah. He is the worst. Grayson. Yeah. He's a crybaby.
Yeah. A little bit.
He always get his hand stuck caught in the cookie jar, but it wasn't him.
You're right.
That's how he plays, and that's how he looks when he's playing.
You're right. He wanted to kick you. I didn't see.
I didn't see.
I stepped on your hand. My bad, dog.
Not even that. Just what he does.
There's all this floor out here. I just accidentally run over here and accidentally stepped on your hand.
Yeah.
And then act like he didn't do it. But as we alluded to going into break, coming out of break, I want to ask Kenny some questions about what it's like on a staff. Obviously, following on social media everywhere. This is a huge recruiting weekend. Obviously, Matt Rule's staff's first spring, after the first week or so. It's a huge recruiting week. It's been a huge recruiting week, now that you have a lot of junior days and going and visiting earlier in the week. But now this is a huge visit weekend. I think they have 27 guys coming in. You got the number one player, Dylan Raiola, a lot of 5 stars and 4 stars. Some guys that you already got committed or close to maybe committed. I wanted to ask you when you've been on staffs, and in this, it doesn't matter what the coaching staff is. when you have a huge recruiting weekend, and look, this is a maybe unprecedented at Nebraska right now, right? We haven't had this type of supposedly recruiting weekend since Mike Riley did the Friday Night Lights thing and stuff like this. But seems like, obviously a little different. Do you guys sit down and put all 27 names up there and have a game plan for them? How many commits we want out of this weekend? And then what's it based on? Based on how many times, you guys have had face-to-face, how many times he's been on campus, or the feeling from it, and have a goal of commitments coming out of this weekend?
Well, first and foremost, you have a staff meeting and you say, we need all hands on deck. All hands on deck.
Let me ask you this though. See, I'm about to throw you this big old stuff. Now, is all hands on deck just your staff? Because I know for a fact my dad is knee deep down there in Miami Hurricanes and Michael Irvin and all those guys helping recruiting on this type of weekend. Walter Eugene, Chuck Foreman. Okay,
he said Walter.
I shouldn't even
use
say
that man. Government
I
name.
know because he's gonna be mad, right?
Name, man. Come on, man. We don't do that.
Well, Walter Eugene.
Stop.
Chuck Foreman.
Chuck Foreman was.
I just saw him last week and he made me mad, so I'm getting it back. Listen, he's on the way down there as we speak. So to clarify, all hands on deck. What Miami does and Florida State does and what Georgia does and Tennessee does, Alabama, all hands on deck is a different maybe than what all hands on deck is here. So is it just all hands on deck by employed staff, or is it all hands on deck Huskers all the way?
Well, it's a coincidence that they've invited former players back for practice
for this weekend.
This weekend,
yeah.
So
it's all hands on deck.
According to who's in that group of former players, you can use them. Hopefully you use them.
Right.
I know when we were there, we tried to use them. But when I say all hands on deck, that means all hands on deck. So if you have you invited them for that reason, and if you don't use them, then that's on you.
Right.
Meaning former players. You know what I mean? Because they're there, right? So you sit down as a staff and you have your priority guys, you have your committed guys, and you have your guys that are your top tier guys who you pretty much you want to roll out the red carpet to, put your best foot forward to sell yourself, the university. Well, not, let me rephrase that. You're selling the university first.
Right.
Then you're selling what you're trying to
opportunity
that you can present to them for later on in life. And then your team.
Right.
You have to put a good showing on in practice for them to say, hey, yeah, I see myself doing this and doing that. So again, you have your committed guys.
Right.
You use them to recruit your priority guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a pecking order. It can be me, you, and Austin. Austin's the best of the two at the position. That's the one you want. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you get number 3, 1, 2, 3, if you get number 3 and he wants to commit, you slow play him because he's not the best of 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
So
yeah,
that's how that works. Now it's a long weekend. It's
it's 2 days. It seems like it's 2 weeks.
2 days that it feels like 2 weeks. By the time Sunday afternoon rolls around, you just want to go home and put your feet up. And for me, it'd be go home and drink a Mountain Dew and eat a Little Debbie snack cake.
Right.
But so again, it's you selling the university, you selling what you can give them as far as academically, life skills, everything. But there's a priority list. Will you get commits out of this weekend? Probably from the number 3. But do you honor it? You just, so sometimes it's your first time getting guys on your campus.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a guy like that's committed, that's been there 7 times, hey, you do this, you do that, you go do your own thing. Now you got to help us recruit.
Right.
So and so.
Yeah,
so
like
so.
Buford's brother. His brother goes here.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's in.
All right.
You got to be.
But yeah.
So you use him
to talk to Kenny and
Austin and Jay.
Yeah.
Man, this is what we can get done. This is what I see we can do here. This and that and this and that. But to get commits on a junior day, probably not.
You got a mix, right? Because these like Dylan Rayola, he's about to be a senior. A lot of these guys about to be seniors.
Yeah, but he still has time.
Yeah.
To get him or a guy that's another guy like in this situation, you won't get him committed on a junior day. Now they come back for their official visit later on, possibility.
Right.
But junior days, you may get an in-state kid or a kid in the 500-mile radius to commit for before you get a kid from, Texas or the West Coast or the East Coast, Georgia, whatever. But I'd be surprised they get 2 out of the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, recruiting is just it's a long game.
It is.
I assume that when they get the staff, they're trying to, like you said, a pecking order, get the feel for them too.
Yes.
Because, you might be wanting to have, Kenny Wilhite, an offensive tackle from, let's just say, since we're talking about Arkansas, he's from Arkansas, but you might say, you know what? I just don't think that it's just we like him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he on his tape, but I just get the feeling like he's gonna end up going to Arkansas because all he talked about is his uncle went to Arkansas.
Yep.
He's talked about, he glowed. He was talking glowingly when he's going to Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Now that doesn't mean you quit, but you also understand that where you're at.
Now you drop that. Now he drops down
based on it.
Based on that. So
right.
again, you're selling yourself, but you're also getting the feel for
them.
Are they really interested?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Are they really interested? Because if they're on your campus talking about, like we've had guys show up on our campus wearing other schools' clothes.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, man. What's his name? Odell James. That played at Baylor. Quincy Carter. They came on visits, but they were already talking about Georgia. Like, you almost got beat down back when we played. You come here talking about another school, you're going to get some hands thrown on you. So I mean, they ain't like that now, but I think it's a unique process that has to be strategically done. It's just a little different, I think, here because of the way that. Well, first of all, my dad's like 70-some years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now granted, him and Reuben Carter and all those guys were the first, African American. 1968,
mm-hmm.
obviously. For them to be peeling back all the way to the OGs, triple OGs, with all the other guys to be there and show the family atmosphere.
But that's family.
Like whether it's Michael Irvins, Ray Lewis, and all those guys. Ray Lewis, I'm just going to let you know, is on Showtime. Okay, he's on Showtime.
I was about to say, isn't Michael Irvin on ESPN? Well, he was
on ESPN. But all those guys, Clinton Portis, all these guys that are heavily involved, big personalities on national TVs helping the program, they're on it. They have to do that in order to get back where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And so you up there, you ain't got no reason to be bringing my dad down there because these kids know. My dad played in 1968.
No clue who he is.
These kids wasn't even the thought right
Their
now.
parents were barely
right. It's functioning.
Yes.
Right. So but they're trying to show them the long game.
Yeah.
They're trying to show them what they're saying. They're trying to put tangible results into what they're saying.
Yep.
And they know it's the competition stick just because you got Florida and Florida State. So I think that it'd be an interesting weekend to see where it's at. I think it's a good weekend for Nebraska to do it. I think that the number of recruits or commits, obviously you'd like to come out with, like, I would say 2 to 4. That's what I would be wanting, right? And it's got to be, I think, reciprocated. Kenny commits, we honor it.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I'm talking about, not the ones that where we slow play you, because you might be at 12, right?
Yeah.
And so you could fill up a whole class if you just bring in a whole bunch of guys that's ready to commit. But I also think the fact of having these guys on campus also helps to eventually recruit other kids as well, because they all follow each other.
Yes.
And if they see Kenny Wilhite, that's a 4-star DB receiver, whatever, going to Nebraska, and say they just kind of had Nebraska letters and kind of, glanced over text messages from coach or recruiter, they might start, answering those text messages and letters and calls. And then you could get a couple good, players that way. So I think everything's a positive. And ultimately, how the practice is structured is going to be huge as well. I think that they had a little bit of media in there, earlier in the week. I think everything's got to be orchestrated. Everybody's got to understand, it's selling your program all the time. When you're a program that's trying to establish yourself, or reestablish yourself, I guess, you're constantly being evaluated. You're constantly have eyes on you. So you have to be strategic about what you're doing. So when you have the media in there for 40 minutes, you got to make sure you have stuff that's sellable for the media to say things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do believe like you kind of amp up your coaching and your energy for the TV.
It's a show.
But I also think it's in you as well.
Yep.
Right. And so as long as you're consistent, it doesn't really matter. Of course, you're going to amp it up a little bit. I've been there. I mean, everybody's been there.
Mm-hmm.
And you do it sometimes when the coaching clinics comes in as well, because you're this is what you're,
what you're
selling. And so when you have the recruits come in, you got to make sure that it's you're getting a good work in. You're not, kind of just out there in dog and pony show with the team, but then also you're making sure that it's appealing to the players, that are coming in, because this is eventually your future.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good they have some early commits in that just were recruited that could have stayed in high school, so they can actually talk about the transition for some of these players that potentially could be them or January.
Yes.
So I think that's good as well. And I think you also have to talk to the players. I need you to go talk to Austin.
And that's one thing I didn't touch on. The early commits that are on your campus right now, you want to make sure you get them in front of the recruits.
Right. That's huge.
You got a player panel question, Q&A. Hey, you've been here since January. How's it been? How's the new staff treating you? How's academics?
Mm-hmm.
How the players treating you?
Yeah.
How's the locker room?
How's it different from high school?
How's it different from high school? So you want to involve them also. You want to involve the guys that are on your roster also.
By any means necessary to get it done. Should be no restrictions. So that's a good segment, man. It'd be interesting to see how this weekend goes. We'll be able to kick back and watch some basketballs, because we are on the sidelines, and we're gonna be at the crib. We ain't gonna be able to help. So we're gonna be chilling, watching, and we're gonna just be watching on the internet. Get back on Twitter. But we're gonna take a short break. Come back with a short segment here before we get into second round of the Sweet 16. Jay Foreman, Austin, and Kenny Wilhite.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock, or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hey guys, Nick Sadert here, and I want to tell you about my friends at Spine and Sports Chiropractic. I experienced a herniated disc in my lower back a few years ago, and thanks to the folks at Spine and Sports, I got back to feeling 100%. At Spine and Sports, they use the active release technique, which involves the soft tissue and can alleviate headaches, shoulder pain, plantar fasciitis, and more. What I like most about the ART method is that your doctor will construct a plan that fits your needs, because the technique is not a cookie-cutter approach. Allow Spine and Sports Chiropractic to help you feel better. Set up your appointment today by giving them a call at 402-261-6841.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required, as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett. There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is heat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription to receive meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at venueathome.net.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Short segment, man. This basketball thing is cutting into our knowledge time that we get to drop on these airways, man. So we got a quick 3 minutes before we get started on our weekend. All the Husker fans out there, I encourage everybody to stay updated on Twitter and stuff to see obviously they're gonna be heavy on social media. See if we get some commits out there and
Husker baseball
tonight. Go out and support. I think a lot of the guys that are already in town and the parents and stuff are going to go over there along with a lot of the players. I think that's a big deal to the staff of getting the players out supporting. Also, Erstad, former teammate of mine, you two, right?
No, he was right after me.
Right after you. Yep. Alex Gordon, and who's the third?
Shane Comine.
They all get their jerseys retired. Big ups to Darren Erstad, because he's a former teammate. I know Darren. And I'm happy for him. Obviously a great player. He's a great dude too. Ultimate competitor. I think he would have had a long career in the NFL as well if he decided to be a punter. Phenomenal athlete. So for him and his family, I know his son Zach is pretty well. Is good for them to see their dad be recognized, and obviously hopefully it's a sellout crowd for the baseball game tonight.
Nice weather.
Nice weather.
Very
sun's
nice weather.
out, so it's perfect. And a big recruiting weekend. What else?
Your picks for tonight.
My picks for tonight. Let me see. Look, all right. Tell me the game.
Alabama.
Oh, I'm going with
San
Bama.
Diego State. Okay.
I'm going with Bama.
Princeton, Creighton.
Man, mindset says I'm taking Creighton.
Okay. Houston, Miami.
Oof. See, this is the game. Miami's under the radar. Even though they're a 5 seed, I like their basketball program. They got some dogs. They actually have a former K-State player playing point guard for them. I'm going to go Houston, and here's why I'm going to go Houston. I think they've been consistent all year. What they showed me to come back is good. They got my man Ramon Money Walker Jr. on their team, Now I've been knowing him since he little kid changed his diaper. He's 6'6", 6-man coming off. I can't go against him. What's the last?
Texas. Xavier.
I hate even saying this. I hate even giving Texas kudos. Besides Alabama, I think in Gonzaga, I think that's the team that can win it. I'm gonna pick Texas.
Okay, I'm gonna say Texas, Houston.
I heard you.
Forgive me, Creighton,
you
but Princeton
spit it out.
and Alabama.
I like it. Princeton's tough.
Tough.
They have Creighton
We'll see.
kryptonite. They have a point forward, a la Derek Walker. Creighton better adjust. And they better hit threes.
Better hit threes.
Louis
They were on fire.
Yeah, 55 better come with it.
Better come with it.
Yeah,
He's from St. Louis.
no 55 for Creighton.
Oh,
what's his name?
the center.
Coach Brenner.
Yeah, he needs.
He's from St. Louis.
Yeah, he better start hitting.
He's from St. Louis.
Yeah, so we'll see. All right, we are out, man. We'll see you guys next week.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors